The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the show. It's brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors. 10% discount on your legal fees. levisolicitors.co.uk/the Square Ball. But if you want 15% off...
For God's sake, listen to the Phil Hay Monday Club.
15% off.
Wills, probate, conveyancing.
The big three. For a limited time, you can get that. It still blows my mind that you're never ready for this, even though we do it several times every week.
You'd be bored if I did it well.
Yeah, fair enough. Dan, Michael and Rob here for part 2, which is the Bournemouth preview. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to go and win then, are we? So we should timestamp it. We're recording it. It's 2 o'clock Thursday as we speak, which is ahead of their game against Southampton on Thursday night.
Which will hopefully be a bruising, grueling, red card-filled event. That's probably the best we can hope for from it, isn't it? Load of suspensions for both. Like a 22-man brawl would be ideal.
Is it a derby?
Is it the M27 derby? I am just looking at this, actually, as you ask that question. Rob, let's have a look.
They're not that close, are they? But I know down the South Coast teams do kind of have a bit of something going on. So, I mean, Southampton and Portsmouth's the main one, isn't it? I think Bournemouth are probably a bit nicer.
I mean, Brighton have chosen Crystal Palace, haven't they? So,
yeah, weird choice. But yeah, I think Portsmouth is kind of a rough town of sailors, whereas Bournemouth is more of a nice retirement place. so I think it's harder to have a rivalry with them than it is with Southampton with Portsmouth.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't exactly trip off the tongue, but technically it's the A338, A31, M27 derby, if you're going to properly give it its...
How long are you talking?
What, between them?
Oh, so I thought you'd put a route in.
Not yet. Shall I do that for you? Just so we can answer the question.
What the listeners want to know.
That's what we need to know. Right, so there's the football. It's good going on like Google Maps or Apple Maps because you can always quite easily spot a football stadium from the air, can't you? Right, let's drop a pin there.
I mean, just a vague travel time would have done. But...
No, I'm going to work it out exactly. Talk among yourselves anyway.
Are we going to beat Bournemouth? That's kind of how I feel.
It'd be nice to, wouldn't it, I guess. But we were better against... Who have we just played? Leicester than we were against Fulham. So maybe if we're a little bit better again, then that might be good. They're annoying, Bournemouth. I just thought they were going to give up months ago.
Yeah.
Turns out they're better than us.
Well, when Scott Parker was there at the start of the season, he had given up, hadn't he? They got spanked by Liverpool, didn't he? And he went, what can I do? This bunch of chumps. Absolutely useless.
Well, we were saying that going into the season as well. Went, we're going down. But I thought these players were going to, take that attitude on, but sadly not.
If you were going to travel now, you're talking 47 minutes via the fastest route, which is, as I mentioned, the A338, A31, M27 route. That's between the stadiums. Fans may live elsewhere. So it's not that far. It's only 32 miles.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. We'll call it a derby then. Loads of injuries in that. Then we get there and I don't know how this game pans out because they cut through us very, very easily at Ellen Road.
But we're a different side now. We're more defensively minded. We'll be far more solid at the back, Michael.
Will that mean we also scored 4? That was the way we beat them before.
Was this when Victor Orta was shouting "sack of the board" and all that?
Yeah, that was the one.
Great. It's gone well since then.
It's gone really well since then.
I think it was the previous week after we'd beat Liverpool that Radrizzani tweeted very humbly going, we weren't rubbish last week and we're not champions this week. And then we absolutely scraped a win against a newly promoted side and Victor Orta started windmilling, basically.
Have we won since then?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we have, but not very many times.
Okay.
Was that Jesse's last league win?
Oh, God.
It might have been, actually. Was the last game before the World Cup anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We played Spurs, didn't we, afterwards, but we lost that.
If only we checked this before we came and started recording.
I mean, we know how long it takes to go from Bournemouth to Southampton, at least.
That's the key information, yeah.
And all good podcasts are built on Wikipedia research. And here we are again. Let's have a look. So, when was that?
November, wasn't it?
November.
November the 5th, wasn't it?
We didn't win again until we beat Southampton at home on the 25th of February, so that was Jesse's last win, correct?
Bloody hell.
Lost to Spurs, lost to Man City, drew with Newcastle, drew with West Ham, lost to Villa, drew with Brentford, lost to Forest, lost to Man United.
Do you remember who was really good against Bournemouth that day?
Was it
Philip Billing? Oh no, he was for them.
He was good.
he was really good for them.
Hang on a minute. Is it Willie Gnonto?
It was Willie Gnonto.
I knew it was going to be. So what should we do about that then?
Should we play him? It's Does that sound all right?
If Sinistera, as we imagine, is going to be out probably now for another 2 years, who do we replace him with? I've got the feeling he's going to put Somerville in just to spite us all.
I mean, Somerville, I did think was good the other night, actually.
Do you know who else is good?
Willie Nonto.
Go over to Rob, he knows.
I think it's Willie Nonto, yeah.
Yeah, it's the right answer. But he was our best player, wasn't he, Willie Nonto, for the best part of the season? But no, I thought Somerville was good, and I thought I think sometimes we've questioned his defensive work, but he was getting stuck in the other night as well.
Loads better than Sinistera. And that's not necessarily a criticism of Sinistera. Like, I don't think it's a lack of work rate. I just think he doesn't really know what to do when he's meant to be defending. Whereas
Who's
Somerville,
Sinistera?
Sinistera, yeah. Whereas Somerville was tracking his man and making some good tackles.
Which he never used to, did he? One of his big glaring weaknesses in his game was a lack of defensive work.
He sort of came alive when the ball was near him, but
yeah,
he tend to watch the rest of it. But no, I thought it was good the other night. So I've no real objection to him being in. But let's find a little space for Nonto as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Please, God. I mean, if anything, the Leicester game shows that we can't just let games happen to us. Like, we need to actually win some matches this season. And if we don't beat Bournemouth, then we're into Man City and Newcastle, and we're probably not going to get anything. Well, we're definitely not going to get anything from Man City. Newcastle.
Negative.
I don't know. I suppose Newcastle, you never know, dear, but it looks pretty unlikely given the form they're in. So we absolutely need to win this. So if we're going into it timid or trying to scrape a win in the last 5 minutes, hoping we get another set piece that'll fall to Pat Bamford, for example, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I mean, of the games that we have left this season, Bournemouth are the weakest team we're going to face. And that's no disrespect to Bournemouth because they've been on a good run recently. Fair play to them. They're still not very good. I mean, we're not either.
Oh, God, no, we're...
I mean, let's just say, let's be right up front.
We're firmly in the same category as Bournemouth of not very good sides.
Yeah. So,
I was pleased to read that their fans were booing Bournemouth off at half-time and full-time against, it was West Ham.
And they lost 4-0,
Yeah, so I'm hoping there's a bit of toxic atmosphere there, hopefully, especially if they don't win tonight.
Yeah, the nerves will start to creep back in again, won't they, if they bin it tonight.
I will say Bournemouth's been a bit of a weird ground for us over the years because obviously we've been promoted there. Belushi scored a free kick there. So anything can happen.
What do you think will happen?
3-1 defeat.
It's very negative.
I know. It's because I've been watching us.
Against all my better judgment, I just feel like we're due a win. One more before the end of the season, and this could be it. Although we are facing Spurs as well, so maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, this West Ham and Spurs are the most likely 3, aren't they, now to get points from?
Yeah.
It's definitely going to the last day, isn't it?
Oh, of course
we're all fools, aren't we, for expecting
I said this ages
otherwise.
ago. I gave myself, when I was pretending to be very zen and relaxed, I gave myself over to this idea ages ago. And it genuinely was underpinned by thinking, this is just going to go all the way to the wire because that's what we do. That's what Leeds do. Which is why I think the most likely, I said this over on the Phil show, but we'll probably end up drawing just to drag it all out a bit more. But I don't know. I always root for Leeds to win. So why not? Let's just go win.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-2. Let's have a bit of madness again.
Willie hat-trick?
In the last 10 minutes as he comes on at 2-0 down.
2-0 down.
I mean, if it was a complete replica of the game at Ellen Road, I think I would fear for everyone's health.
I mean, yeah, if there's one club that can do that, this is that club, Michael Normanson. This is that club.
Yeah.
They are setting out to destroy us, aren't they?
That is very much the way it feels, yeah. And I guess we get the... Is it an advantage? No, I think last week we managed to convince ourselves it was an advantage to play first, but then it wasn't.
Doesn't matter,
because we didn't win.
And this is the thing, like, no matter what we analyse and what we predict here, all of it just comes down. Just go out there and win your... I mean, I tweeted this. Just go and win your dicks. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. I mean, Forest will have played by the time we do, and so will West Ham, so... Depending on what happens tonight with the Everton and the Southampton Bournemouth games, God.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Are you going to watch any of it?
Yeah, I will. I'm an absolute glutton for punishment with this. I watched Forest last night.
I try not to, but then I end up just thinking, I'll just watch something on... I'm watching The Sopranos at the moment, because I've never seen it before, so I'm kind of working through that. I'm into like series 5 of it. So what I do is I sit there watching that, not watching football, trying to just unwind from it while just checking my phone every 3 or 4 minutes, just picking it up going, fuck's sake.
And before you know it, you've been suckered into it, haven't you?
So I might as well watch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I might like lock my phone in the car or something, so I'm unable to check it.
I mean, we've said it quite a lot recently, but I've got to a point now where I'm just looking ahead for it's under 5 weeks now, 4.5 weeks. This will all be over one way or another, and we can just disengage from it for a week or whatever. We just don't have to think about it. The stress will be removed because at least we'll know.
And the optimism of pre-season can start then.
Did I mention? I can't remember if I said it on the show the other day. I mentioned that my dad had said it was like the 1975 European Cup final. It was worse than that. Was the tension at Ellen Road against Leicester? It came to mind afterwards that something else he said. He said it's just like waiting for an ill relative to die, isn't it? That's how bleak things got. That's how he feels about Leeds, and it's the same. Like at least once this is all over, even if we do go down, it'll be like, well, at least there's no more pain.
You would say at least they didn't suffer, but we are all suffering. So yeah, is there a positive? It'd be better to be just put out of business. Is that what your dad's saying?
Do you know what? But then again, I look at the Championship and it's not the absolute hellscape I once thought it was.
No, don't trick yourself into thinking
I've got to get into the bargaining phase of grief, Rob. I need to. I've got to convince myself that it's acceptable
You're
down
a fool.
there. I know.
You're forgetting it all. 46 games. It's too many.
It's loads of football, though, isn't it?
The grass is always greener, though, isn't it, to an extent? Because this isn't much fun.
It's just it's the prospect of winning more than like we lose so many games and it's boring.
I'd like us to stay up and just be better.
Yeah, I would.
I think that's sort of the preferable
What
thing.
I said before, I didn't mean. I'm just trying to find a way to make it acceptable.
Yeah. Let's stay up and get like 50 points next year.
I want 60.
I'd accept 60.
50, let's go for 55.
I'm not going to be grasping. I'm just going to say 50 points would be fine.
55. So it's comfortable throughout.
You're bordering on Europe there.
Here we go. Europe next season, that's what you're telling me.
Imagine Radrizzani did say that, didn't he? We solidify after sort of 2 years and then we push on for Europe after that. So why not?
Yeah. Cardiff's not in this country, is it? Sort of counts. Wrexham are coming up the leagues. Who knows?
What did Bournemouth even do? I've lost so much track. I've been so consumed by my feelings of anxiety and fear about Leeds United.
They have no strengths, according to WhoScored.com, and yet they're above us.
I meant to say, we always lean on, I always lean on 538.com for their Premier League. It's getting shut down, isn't it? ESPN, I think it is that own it.
That was my proposal
all
along.
It's actually happening. I think all the staff from it are getting laid off, which is obviously bad, but...
Is it because they've realised it's pointless?
Just guesswork.
I mean, the thing is with sport, bookmakers do that work for you anyway. They'll tell you how likely it is you're going down. Do you know,
is it likely?
Likely, according to that. We are, for the first time this season, we are evens or lower to go down. So, which means basically if you put on like £1 now, you'll
win £1.
You'll win your stake and your pat and £1.
Right.
I think you've influenced those odds by putting all your money on Leeds to go down.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I've put my entire house on it.
But anyway, that brings us back to the point of these internet charlatans who come up with all this stuff. And then what are WhoScored saying anyway?
Yeah, so they have no strengths. They attack down the left, play long balls, and they play in their own half.
Right. Is any of that good for us?
It all sounds fine. I mean, the long ball was more of an issue with Jesse because that was obviously how you'd score, just pelt one over the top of the fullback and there's a big space and a player there. And
whereas now you just pelt it over our centre halves and there's a big space and etc.
Well, now I think running through the midfield's the easiest route to goal now.
Right. Would you
against deep line defence? But
I mean, I fully don't expect him to. But would you maybe play like 4-3-3 or something like that? Mix it all up a bit.
He's not going to change anything.
I know he's not.
I just don't think he'll change a single thing other than, for injuries. Maybe if Ferber's fit, I guess he'll come back in somewhere. But I don't think he'll change it other than that.
It's difficult not to know what to do up front as well, because it is that thing of when Bamford doesn't play, you go, we kind of miss him. But then you watch him miss that chance the other night and go, should we go Rodrigo again? But then Rodrigo plays, you think,
Jorginho Ruta, just put Jorginho in, and this is it. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is his breakout performance.
You've been trying to sell this all year, haven't you?
Like I've said before, if I keep saying it, eventually it'll happen.
When he scores a consolation against Rotherham next year, you'll be like, breakout performance.
What I did say was...
yes, I know it's March.
I did say I wanted him just to have one moment this season. I mean, given that we can't get Willie off the bench at the minute, I mean, it feels like it's a million miles away for Ruta, but I just want him to have one moment that's kind of where he scores a winner or something like that just contributes to something good.
I did have that thought at the Leicester game, watching him warm up, and then I quickly thought that'd be daft.
Oh dear. Well then, dare we make predictions, or should we just say, do it, dickheads?
Do it, dickheads.
Do it, dickheads.
Part 2 of the show is done and dusted. Go back and watch part 1, the news section, if you haven't yet. That's available in your YouTube feed. Otherwise, find part 3, Heroes and Villains, on the way.
The Square Ball Podcast.